It's a no-brainer that travelling actively saves carbon and makes people healthier. So why is it I'm looking out there are hundreds of cars out there, and I know when I find the bike shed, there'll be a few, but there won't be anything like so many. Why haven't even health workers got the message?
Now, I think actually, to be honest, the organisation has done a great deal to put bike racks and secure bike racks at the front of the hospital, secure cages at the rear, and there is without doubt a larger number of people who do make the effort to cycle, and there are changing facilities and showering facilities if you do come from further afield and you arrive rather sticky and you can't change into theatre scrubs, for example.
Right, so things are improving. And Laura, you're at the Royal Bournemouth Hospital. What are you doing there to encourage active travel?
Yeah, we've put in quite a few initiatives recently. As the same as you say, we have the changing facilities for staff members when they come in. We've also got some Cycle England funding a couple of years ago, for which we used to purchase a number of bikes to have a pool bike scheme. So we've got 7 electric bikes that could be used for staff to travel between our 2 sites at Christchurch and at Bournemouth, and also a number of folding bicycles and other bicycles sort of on a try before you buy sort of scheme. So we encourage them to take the bikes out, try them out, and then if they enjoy cycling and can do their daily commute via bicycle instead of the car, they can then purchase their bike through the tax
through the Cycle to Work scheme,
yes,
as we have here.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a little bit more of innovation and freer thinking,
Yeah.
particularly when staff are required to move between different locations. To be able to use an electric bike, not only, I suspect, is it much faster, dodging traffic.
Yes, well, on the road between the two, it can often get quite sort of congested as well. I must admit, I haven't got figures on the sort of number of people that have been using it, but it has been promoted for use in between sites. And we also have another scheme called the Pedal Point scheme, where employees can get a point every time they come in via bicycle, and they collect their points, and we offer sort of different prizes throughout the year. So if they come in sort of 10 times, they can get a rucksack and
How do you know they're telling the truth?
Well, that was something we did worry about. But the forms are all within the cycle sheds, and they tick their name sort of when they have the code to lock their bikes away. And obviously, it does require a certain amount of honesty.
Right. Okay.
There was a very interesting survey that was published by the Sustainable Development Unit online, and it took the view, how best would you be able to influence your colleagues in a sustainable development direction? And what the most common suggestion was that of finance. And it was once given that thought, and Laura, just after you suggested it, Laura, I was mindful as I'm watching the traffic from up here that for every member of staff at consultant level who wishes to park their car at this trust, they pay nearly £700 a year.
Yeah, that's something we've looked into, having the financial incentive along with the financial disincentive as well. We have parking, we have recently introduced paying for parking for staff as well. So yes, we're putting the two hand in hand. We're hoping we'll start to improve our sort of modal shifts and modal splits through travel.
Now, looking at our roads, the male cyclists outnumber the females. Looking in your hospitals, it's the other way round. So how do you overcome the worries I hear many female staff say about cycling? One is, I don't feel safe, and the other is, it'll mess my hair up having to wear a helmet, and the health people tell me it's essential to wear a helmet. And then it's about, and when I get here, where do I get changed and all the rest of it? How have you tried to tackle that?
I know that some people in the estates team have led cycle rides, which is just trying to encourage people who perhaps aren't so confident on their bicycles to sort of come out on a led ride, and there's sort of different, like the easy ride, a moderate ride, or a harder ride as well, and that's sort of to build up their confidence. We've had maintenance workshops as well, encouraging people and showing people how they can maintain their own bikes. Something that we haven't done quite yet, but we're looking into, is a buddy scheme for the people who are a little less confident as well, sort of looking at someone similar to the car share scheme who goes the same way, and they can sort of buddy up to cycle in together, which might be something that sort of encourages the less keen cyclists to
Yeah, I think that your last suggestion, I think, sounds so simple, and yet the potential for encouraging yet another cyclist out on their bikes very significant. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Because each person being buddied could then go on and buddy others.
Mhm.
And it becomes
spread organically.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Very interesting. And if you've come off a 12-hour nursing shift, it's a dark, wet and rainy night, you go to the bike shed and you've got a puncture.
Mhm.
Have you got a taxi home service, anything like that?
We do offer the emergency taxi home if there's sort of childcare needs, or as you say, someone has a puncture, then
Yeah.
they can call a taxi and charge that back to
And
them.
does that get abused or not?
No, I don't think it has been at all so far.
Now, Bournemouth Cycle Forum had a talk last week from someone who works for JP Morgan, the bankers who've got a big base down there. They go even further. They have drying areas for wet clothing, as well as changing rooms, secure cycle sheds with CCTV, because theft of bicycles is a much bigger problem than theft of cars now.
Yeah.
Cars are much better, much more secure. And there's a track pump fixed in the bike shed, so you can pump your tyres up as much as you like. And nowadays, of course, many bikes are worth as much as a small car.
Mm.
And so people have got them through the Cycle to Work scheme, they've got keen, they've got the bug. But if they lose the bike, or they get depressed, or they can't, you find somewhere to shower, it puts them off.
Yeah.
and that bike finds its way back to the shed in their garden.